Epilogue Nero. Who sayeth some things, calculos not so against peeps. You calculus. Am I? They sucks as, gaze so why? BC. I, right. Wrote then to whom? I the why completes, the entirety of the human endeavor, quite, an individualistic task, for me. Before, one, and then, engage in that great conversation of people not always around, you, far removed, day and time and space maybe. So, such a misanthrope might find humanity quite lacking, because in that regard, they are quite then, maybe only ones to make contributions to such. To here we are. 12/3/2022. Someone is, don't know, this dude asks, you did, can I get a light? Dude says wear in dirt-layered clothes if clean, seem fashionable, a 3/4 black jogger pants, nylon maybe is fabric, a t-shirt, black windbreaker, the feet sandals those, big, dirt gray. Seeing, he then, sees the hand has carried 1/3 of a cigarette, unlit, that CS. He comes up the stairs, saws I takes a look at him, then would see, a seer. Will have seen this. I can't place him, is he in blackface? I think so seeing his features, very much nobody, could be here or near, middle near where east, white maybe, have seen verily, the look of Homer, the statue, very, but not a very common look these days. Seen then, heard, seems he not has, no any discernible accent, and very skinny. Eyes thinking, he though, unless that be lest he shorter, thinking then, than me. By 5 inches. Small, he did not smell, though the look that, caked in dirt. Apparent he beard wanted to light his cigarette 1/3 his. Wit mine. He I, smoking, too, by I said no, I put that out, this mine, cigarette in the plastic Coke bottle I left. Had, outside room, motel as I and right went, inside then a light, who is he? I just said, no I, don't. Like, mostly you, whatever. Elitist feel, like mostly. Artificially, I edited by FBI. Thickheads by I don't care. Homer anyways bust cigarette, I in Colossus. Nero. Tour, were 12/03/2022 so Homer names then, who is, narrates maybe someone, and Nero so, for dumps calls Fresnos, that spells out, then why Garrison is like watch, tower looks cigarette. Attic a lighthouse on, its perspectives. And I this someone Homer, that aside, actual. Thinking, skinny than paints then seen. His head display though, plinth marble, our Roman column and Greece. Be lacks he, but windbreakers, only lack not the face, when not seen yet, then lacks eyes augurs, sand though. Wonder for even, something lighthouse roads then, his, had left outside room, left outside Rome. Stories that replica, coke the scenes. Cuntus senses someone elitist, a light then, lots of murders his life, who, maybe his wife and mother so he says not, who then. Who, cop 0 any, something taxes, all his money and his person, all. So, why Garotzi, is like you kills yourself with. Then, mom something, is, Kyle. Menendez, who? Mylania 000 in the lead. Excerpt from written by curator of Nero exhibition when at the British Museum, then not the lover of Francis S.A., Bologna goes in search of the real Nero. Who was Nero? Nero was the 5th emperor of Rome and the last of Rome's first dynasty. The adopted son of Julius Caesar. Nero is known as one of Rome's most infamous rulers, notorious for his cruelty and debauchery. He ascended to power in AD 54 aged just 16 and died at 30. He ruled at a time of great social and political change, overseeing momentous events such as the Great Fire of Rome and Boudicca's rebellion in Britain. He allegedly killed his mother and 2 of his wives, only cared about his art, and had very little interest in ruling the empire. Seasons by ISUC. This is the problem of, it don't matter, what can you change about the narrative of, murder, and the rest of that? That is who? DFBI wants to say cops. I say it is cops because many arrests for mental health holds in Covina. BFBI let that be when I said cops, my first impression memorialized then writing, fairly left alone April 2021 to December 2021, not when I said it BFBI. With Mexicans now in full force behind DFBI, is what? This is where, go with cops for stupids and DFBI for retards. Women go wherever? DFBI gets cops and cops get whoever the FBI wants to get, because the system uses the system FBI put together, the surveillance technology, for whatever, who cares. It not about, where is my alliance or enemies? You against me, I am against everyone, fick all of everyone, fuck all the same. Because this is where that is. You might have concerns such as that, maybe me sure, something like that. Who is doing stupid stuff? Everyone. Someone finds something, doesn't know it all, it just this, who is good and bad and who. This an impossible task? Not really when Mexicans are around as egos who need to do strength, only knows, no doubt, chomos, FBI sayas. So, there you go. They onk is worst. Then, whoever else, I don't care about ranking the rest. Figure it out. Mexicans stays out of, where he wants, not whatever, retardos coming at you, like cannon fodder, keeps on coming, after the prior gets blown to pieces, war Z living zombies. Spaces who cares, no one can stand against this. They did, whoever and whoever. All of Mexis, you fuck your mom, father had his dick in you, you rented out your son to DFBI, so not until later. I is they grupo life. Then when? 0 is every you day. Most of what we know about Nero comes from the surviving works of 3 historians, Tacitus, Suetonius, and Cassius Dio. All written decades after Nero's death, their accounts have long shaped our understanding of this emperor's rule. All had an interest in legitimizing the new ruling family by portraying the last of the Julio Claudians in the worst possible light, turning history into propaganda. Nero was only 2 years old when his mother was exiled and 3 when his father died. His inheritance was taken from him and he was sent to live with his aunt. However, Nero's fate changed again when Claudius became emperor, restoring the boy's property and recalling his mother Agrippina from exile. Why is women wear everywhere? That is not a classification. She can be whatever, wherever. I happen to believe she and W. Nafel, wherever in small friends grupo, because women cannot play together, more than a dozen. All where? Not Mexicans, who are men cunts because too much of a system, Dion's set of rules, which competes with hers even though some things sometimes appear to look same, she is not alone. Something that looks to be small, especially surveillance for information, to use to coerce a change or influence opinions by artifice, stratagems, it is pretty damning. Someone could entirely over every other, be they professionals, artists, politicians, and experts something plus, religious, and force a shift to wherever. Berto's bird brains by systemic childhood abuse, taught 20 words and phrases and whatever. Gets to be the most annoying someone, will do everything that is supposed to be, not done. Go suck a dick and he does? Then what? Go suck another one and 100 dicks later if a woman, OMG. Where, and she is hearless. Angelus I can but she should really suck dick, for free and prove this, point. So that is how the hoist goes, who knows, ask Mexicans who train dogs angry, learned from theirs. Then? Who cares about, is it? Illegal? Then who cares? Nobody can grupo unless somebody wants to. Systematically to rebellion or revolution, let's see. What happens without grupo? Why cops ever want grupo? Why anyone with power or authority would? Hoys. Aged 13. Adoption. In AD 49, the Emperor Claudius married Agrippina and adopted Nero the following year. Claudius appeared to favor Nero over his natural son, Britannicus, marking Nero as the designated heir. Age 16. Emperor. When Claudius died in AD 54, Nero became emperor just 2 months before turning 17. As he was supported by both the army and the Senate, his rise to power was smooth. His mother Agrippina exerted a significant influence, especially at the beginning of his rule. Aged 21. Agrippina's murder. The Roman historians Tacitus, Suetonius, and Cassius Dio all claim that Nero, fed up with Agrippina's interference, decided to kill her. Given the lack of eyewitnesses, there is no way of knowing if or how this happened. It is entirely possible, as claimed by Nero himself, that Agrippina chose, or was more likely forced, to take her own life after her plot against her son was discovered. Early in his rule, Nero had to contend with a rebellion in the newly conquered province of Britain. The marriage between Nero and Octavia, aged 15 and 13/14 at the time, was arranged by their parents in order to further legitimize Nero's claim to the throne. Octavia was the daughter of the Emperor Claudius from a previous marriage, so when Claudius married Agrippina and adopted her son Nero, Nero and Octavia became brother and sister. In order to arrange their marriage, Octavia had to be adopted into another family. Somewhere else claims Octavia was put to death after a trial on adultery charges. Aged 26. Great Fire of Rome. Tacitus, the only historian who was actually alive at the time of the Great Fire of Rome, although only 8 years old, wrote that Nero was not even in Rome when the fire started, but returned to the capital and led the relief efforts. Why great hose? Caesar's built palace after fair, great. Someone retarded will be all, taken advantage by whoever. Great, hose go and suck, dicks of homeless people, and some will, for free because whatever games homeless person, figures. Out great, that is just fair. What is the problem? Tricked by someone, why free is fair. Why you got then, change, something if, you don't like, it's some hoey-ho built in dungeon cannot, only knows suck dick for free. So what? Free is best BTW. And with me, even better if I am paid. For sucking my dick, I swear to God, same back hands on Bible, this is true, and I might be, who knows I have some reasons, not maybe she goes, dungeon again for, sucking, cops. Whose stories? Tacitus, Suetonius, and Cassius Dio all describe Nero as being blinded by passion for his wife Poppaea, yet they accuse him of killing her, allegedly by kicking her in an outburst of rage while she was pregnant. Nero is just one of many allegedly mad tyrants for which this literary convention was used. Poppaea probably died from complications connected with her pregnancy and not at Nero's hands. She was given a lavish funeral and was deified. Aged 30. Death. In AD 68, Vindex, the governor of Gaul, France, rebelled against Nero and declared his support for Galba, the governor of Spain. Vindex was defeated in battle by troops loyal to Nero, yet Galba started gaining more military support. Oh no, cops. Who cares? It matters if, entirely a cartel versus someone, a mafia versus someone. Cops versus someone? That is easy. Cops versus all Mexicans? Is why cops don't want. Shouldn't for blow. Blue already jobs, whoever hoey hose will anyways anybody, why cops wouldn't, be. Because laws, hey, allow discretion. Cops to sting B, S op, complain, take care much so, of such sobs. Cops, B's C's ID, why, hey ha. Oh! Jaws, why hey ho. Or he why BJ, o below job. Esto why cops why he king, so no Mexicantes can ever, get blow, job, or blue the what. If, taken care of, and me, not grupo were ever, never grupo of C's 0 Nero, doing kings after, in life. They's past experience is murder my father and his mom, Coopy DFI with his Cunnyman Mex tropes he where FBI controls all the stupidity is why. Even if so what, I am not Mexicunt, Never Mexico's fathers or Mexico's I, so as siempre por coser yo había gana de la copa del mundo mea, culpasillo es tapadesti I'm onoi. Not farther from, billet to yo read. Mine there. Word eyes justo, mountain of, Mex's cups. Days go all the world use ego's dungeon. Only's Mexicantus cans, ignores, be alls ds thence humans, emotionals hows, and how, who, why holocausts are, vice these Mexicans. If already development mind too, human and apex of, then it is not possible than ever to become Mexicant. This grace, just tanks, mistaken by, create impressions Mexicantanas, to err, is too, human, unimaginable mostly today, not so in the past, Iliad. Tour, es Tuesday human now then. It was at this point that Nero lost the support of Rome's people due to a grain shortage, caused by a rebellious commander who cut the crucial food supply from Egypt to the capital. Abandoned by the people and declared an enemy of the state by the Senate, Nero tried to flee Rome and eventually committed suicide. Elete this doth speech. Trickster is the only power, believe. People, maybe why I am not Lord. Then liberal capitalism, individualism why requires is noi that theirs. The equality of is this, my absolute inviolable rights of my personal. Is what? Before times, I pledge my life and everything to Lord. Crime well, try with all my efforts, all of, and get there. Not that. Must university educate of ideas to you who? And were they even worse, and then, that the academic studies, not even in existence then, even the ideas. But it could have been, no one write that down, like all ideas been, someone be thoughts that already. Is maybe not so sure than I would be, in their circles, and then Euclid's geometry, they didn't keep a copy. And then since these developments takes place when I before times, read fickin' bitches, and then I am fairly certain, so sure, maybe again, I the onky to be able to get it. And then I complete the entire human enlightenment project by myself, and then my spare time is secondary project, but still important, where I figure the scientific, then I must have an understanding of the mathematics. Where that is discovered is really by making intuitive leaps within the field of mathematics. Then, all of that, and then, chair all the departments of the university, and the letters not just varsity, but all of that. Library letters. There might be more. Done. Sane as now. And then, and get that to ho cray. Not allow coerce and reinforce. By Mexicans where Mexicans' belief system can influence with false or misinformation, whether intention to mislead or not, plus others, because they are Mexicant, plus stupid. Most people would not, and never by illegitimate institutions, Mexicant couldn't, would. Then without that to what? Reverts to actual reality, actual truth. Law is the law, without Mexicant that, inside Mexicant grupo, is twisted. Someone murdered, not found out because all of them hides that, set up someone else, and Mexicant will, that reinforces their superiority complex. How, they have gotten away with. Whatever it is twisted, Oliver, say this, give me my bread, because that bread is breakfast, and soup is to soften, bread and Mexicants wills accuse, myself too. Elements, observe, interpret is intelligence. Why Oliver Twist does not get soup from me, the soup master. Stop, Oliver, Mexicans with, oh please sirs, can I have mores and if I can get into the succeed position for soup, and fuck you, no more soup for you. Epoche is tomato soup. Warhol, Mexicant tu matas. O Tomas todos de Mexicos. Cages de todos Mexicos. Pews mio. Give me my ficking money Mexicans. Mexicant then wants to get into success position, and then someone else will, and oh that was, someone's fault if, not game for all that, accuser is FBI and mom. Mom is invincible but not 10 shotgun rounds, but she doesn't quit. Then victim MX is Mexicant, to take one for the team. Why Lyle and Eric Menendez prison for life. Great. Mom did not fuck your Kyle and Eric's. I am not Mexicant, so none of that matters to me, applicable to me. Why I cannot expect fair treatment because some people don't. Decide for yourself whether Nero was a tyrant or the victim of vicious propaganda. Take a look at the exhibition highlights from Nero, the man behind the myth, which ran from May 27th to October 24th, 2021. British Museum. And whether the real Nero did the better job of explains himself. Of course. K.N.S. Keynes. If Mexicans cannot be stopped from being todia Mexicant parade, today then. For everyone else, today is dead, murdered, all by Mexicans, one day. I have prescription for, among many others. Hooker S. IHOB's plan. Prescription then monetary value of any net exchange between two people who have sex. Tis tax plan, purposes and administrative and not ever criminal, charges yay let's go. Who is the biggest who? Free and paid by whose are paid who did unlikely odds on 0, 0, 0. Mylania the front-runner to the race. Themex, CNTs is, as to Euler spends time, he, go all the interesting, these is. And this is, then, completely Mexa's synthesis to leave no except some body metrics and measures and calculations to you, to Mex. So you, to me much sad, for me an esteem well regarded only because such, perchance only by, a sense of humbleness entrenched in my being, I cannot escape from, though, for me really, Saturn the apology how, unimaginable. Where my lack of planet makes, same, apologist, but Pulutu, Mexa's Apollo reason to do, in time, is, hope on. Something, leads destruction of Second Temple Jewish, who they. That Nero, why he loses and alliances against, Jews. Yeah, rebel motherfucks governors all be Nero supports, so why he did that almost, personally. Last year of Nero, like why who all kills, they selves really. Then continues this war, is Nero so, not governors ever, until even after his death so, he can Antichrist too. And my enemy of your enemy is like, every enemy you, is like then Nero. Nero could be. Who the Caesar that is not a fuck, if ever someone wants this. Maybe why Kaiser, maybe why Czar, why anyone Caesar. Who and why? Him. Talmud claims him to have been Jewish, converted when at Jerusalem, so feared God's retribution. Why this anything, something negative why? Those the enemy of his, that is the enemy of yours, and those enemies are them, and they is my enemies. And enemy, it isn't the Jews, let me say. And Jews say different? Like Nero was the enemy then, because starts what? He overthrown when that and by. So they Jews cannot be claims a Jew did that. 2. Come on, man. Something leads to destruction of Second Temple, Jerusalem. Jewish, who they? That Nero, why he loses and alliances against Jews. Yeah, rebel motherfucks governors all be Nero supports, so why he did that, almost personally. Last year of Nero, like why who all kills they selves, really. Then continues this war is Nero so not governors ever until even after his death so he can Antichrist too. Enemy of your enemy is like every enemy is like Nero. A sneaky punk biatch, for sure. Minos a sneaky punk biatch, for sure. Is you talkings about me, Arnold, Orca, next what, Governator? Jews they what? I am not asking. They asking for the revolution and they lose. This stupid government forces so stupid, I write sent via iMessage 1 p.m. or something. Rebel bitches sucks this, the dick for resalts, my salary. Rebel use and salary word, would define by reputable, dict sure any really. I dialogued why human brain needs salt, then gaze why hide, that's the business, bitches. Such said epilogue, ends on to us. Appendix as IEYBCS to says.